There once lived a young boy named Ryan, who always believed that happiness was something he had to search for far away. He thought maybe happiness lived in expensive gifts, in grand houses, in shiny new things that others had, but he didn't. Although his family loved him deeply, he often felt restless, as if something important was missing from his life. His father ran a small tea stall, and his mother stitched clothes for neighbors. They lived simply, but peacefully. Yet Ryan felt unhappy, convinced that true joy was reserved only for the lucky ones. One evening, after returning from school, he tossed his bag aside and complained, "Why can't we have a big house? Why can't I have the things my classmates have? Why does happiness never come to me?" His mother paused her stitching, looked at him gently, but said nothing. His father, overhearing the words, simply smiled and continued making tea for customers. Ryan's questions filled the small home like a heavy cloud. Later that night, his father placed an old wooden box in front of Ryan. The box was carved with delicate patterns and had a small rusty lock on it. Inside this box, his father said softly, is the key to happiness. If you truly wish to find it, open it tomorrow morning at sunrise. Ryan's eyes widened, curiosity lighting up inside him. Maybe this was it. The secret, the treasure, the magical thing he had been waiting for. The entire night, he kept imagining what could be inside. A special charm, a real key to a hidden place, or perhaps a message from someone wise. He barely slept. When dawn finally painted the sky gold, he rushed outside to sit under the large neem tree near their home. With trembling hands, he opened the box. Inside it lay a small, ordinary mirror. Ryan's excitement faded instantly. A mirror. How could a simple mirror be the key to happiness? Disappointed, he ran back to his father. Is this some kind of joke? How can a mirror bring happiness? His father motioned him to sit, poured 2 cups of tea, and placed one in front of him. My son, his father said, every person spends their life searching for happiness outside, in things, in people, in dreams. But happiness doesn't live out there. It lives in here. He pointed gently to Ryan's heart. This mirror is to remind you that the person responsible for your happiness is the one you see in it. Ryan looked at the mirror again. His own reflection stared back, confused, young, full of expectations. But how? He asked softly. Happiness, his father continued, comes from gratitude, from kindness, from the peace you create inside yourself. When you learn to appreciate what you have, when you choose good thoughts instead of complaints, when you give joy to others, happiness begins to live within you. No one can give it to you if you don't allow yourself to feel it. The words settled deep inside Ryan, like seeds waiting to grow. For the first time, he noticed the softness in his mother's eyes when she stitched late into the night. He noticed how hard his father worked just to give them a simple but honest life. And he noticed the countless little blessings he had always ignored. His schoolbooks, the warm meals, the laughter of neighbors, the tiny garden behind their home where the sunlight fell beautifully every morning. That day, instead of complaining, he helped his mother finish her stitching. He carried water for his father to help at the tea stall. At school, he smiled more than usual. He shared his lunch with a classmate who had forgotten his. He thanked his teacher for helping him with a tough assignment. Each small act made something blossom inside him. A lightness, a quiet joy, a feeling he had never experienced before. Days passed, and the changes in Ryan became clear to everyone. His mother whispered to his father, "Our son smiles more now. He complains less." His father simply nodded, knowing that the box had done its job. But it wasn't the box, it was the boy who had opened his heart to understand its meaning. One afternoon, after school, Ryan saw a little girl crying by the roadside. She had dropped her ice cream, and her tiny hands trembled as tears rolled down her cheeks. Without hesitating, Ryan bought her a new one with the coins he had saved. The girl's smile was like sunshine, and as she ran back to her mother, Ryan felt a warmth spreading through him. He placed his hand on his chest and whispered, "So this is what happiness feels like." He realized that happiness wasn't in receiving, it was in giving. Not in having everything, but in appreciating everything. Not in searching outside, but in discovering inside. That night, as he sat with the wooden box in his lap, he looked into the mirror again. But this time, the reflection looked different. It wasn't confused anymore. It looked peaceful, content, alive. He finally understood the secret his father had tried to teach him. His father came and sat beside him quietly. Ryan looked up and said, "I think I found it. The key to happiness." His father smiled warmly. "And where was it?" he asked. Ryan touched his heart. "Right here. It was here all along." In the quiet of that evening, as the stars appeared one by one in the sky, Ryan learned a truth that many people spend their entire lives trying to find. Happiness does not come from the world. It comes from the way you see the world. It comes from gratitude, kindness, simplicity, love. Anyone can have it, but only if they look in the right place. And so, the boy who once searched endlessly for joy finally discovered the greatest treasure of all. Not in toys, not in wealth, not in gifts, but in himself. The real key to happiness was his own heart, and now that he had found it, nothing in the world could take it away.